This is Top 30.
Welcome to the show. I'm Richard Bacon.
And I'm Kristen Smith. We have 30 stories in 30 minutes. Coming up, why protests are breaking out at McDonald's headquarters. It turns out there's a simple secret to improving your memory. And why this cop gives his partner a double dose of soul. But first, Amazon is reportedly banning customers for what they're calling an abuse of their return policy. According to the Wall Street Journal, some customers got an email notification that harshly states you cannot open a new account or use another account to place orders on our site. Others got no warning at all before their accounts were closed. So you might be thinking, well, that's what you get for making hundreds of returns. But that's not the case. Customer Nur Nassim claims he made only 4 returns last year and won this year before he was banned. Nathan Peterson says he made 550 purchases over 5 years and made just 43 returns. That's less than 10% before he was banned. And Claire Bachner blasted the online giant on Twitter for questioning her 6 returns, showing the email they sent to her. For their part, Amazon won't say how many customers they've banned, and a spokesperson for the company said, "We want everyone to be able to use Amazon, but there are rare occasions where someone abuses our service over an extended period of time." Well, one thing's for sure, we'll definitely think twice before making our next return. Stacey Abrams won the Georgia Democratic primary for governor, making history as the first Black woman to be a major party nominee for governor in the U.S. Abrams took to Facebook following her win to say, "Ours is the Georgia of tomorrow, a state where diversity is a strength, a state where progress is more than possible." And the National Transportation Safety Board is recommending that all new school buses be equipped with lap and shoulder seat belts. The proposal was issued in Washington following last week's tragic school bus accident in New Jersey, where 1 student and 1 teacher were killed and 43 children were taken to the hospital. And Kansas City police officer Lamont Jackson is going viral for serenading his partner with one of his favorite songs from the 70s.
Oh, this is my jam, man. What's this? Now, this is old school. You don't know about this song. What a difference.
Old school never gets old.
Let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with your friend and mine, Nicole Pedalides. Nicole, there is a shocking new winner amongst mobile payment apps.
That's right, Richard. Starbucks is the most popular mobile payment app in the United States, followed by Apple Pay, Google Pay, and Samsung Pay. People seem to like the perks of its reward program. For the first time ever, more than a quarter of U.S. smartphone users aged 14 and over will use a mobile payment app this year. Consumer trust in self-driving cars has taken a U-turn. A AAA survey found that 73% of U.S. drivers would be afraid to ride in a fully self-driving vehicle, with another 2/3 saying they'd feel less safe sharing the road with them while walking or riding a bike. Burberry is suing Target over its iconic check print pattern on scarves and other merchandise.
And Nicole, what is Burberry looking to get from this?
The high-end retailer is seeking $2 million in damages. Burberry wants Target to stop selling the alleged counterfeit products and destroy leftover merchandise.
Nicole, on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, thank you.
Danielle Knox from Fox 35 Orlando has what you need to know today. So, Danielle, I hear people should get out more.
Hi, Kristen. A new survey says about 25% of us spend almost our entire day indoors. The study also says 41% of people are inside for 15 to 20 hours a day. And researchers say indoor air is up to 5 times more polluted than being outside because of things like cooking and cleaning supplies. Well, many of us remember that nonstop cramming session before a big test at school. But according to a new study, all of that may not translate into long-term memory retention. The study says if you need something to stick to your brain, take a nap for 90 minutes. Extensive research has shown memory consolidation takes place as you sleep. So studying before bed, for example, may help you retain what you have just read. And here's a sign the economy is doing well. Google Internet searches for the word vacation rose 10% in April on a year-over-year basis. It could mean more workers feel like they've got some job security because they're not as worried as they used to be about using up all of their vacation days in fear they may look replaceable to their bosses. And that's what you need to know. Kristen, let's go back to you now.
Well, I think that means it's the perfect time to start planning that vacay. Thanks, Danielle. And Top 30, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Top 30. With tax season over and summer right around the corner, many experts recommend a spring cleaning for your finances. Joining us now is financial expert and New York Times best-selling author of the new book, Boss Beep. I can't really get that high, but I tried. Nicole Lapin. Nicole, I'm so happy to have you here.
It's so great to be here. Thanks, Kristen.
So where do we start the cleaning when it comes to our finances?
So take a financial selfie, okay?
Okay.
Are you negotiating your bills?
I do, definitely.
You do?
I got that tip a long time ago. I call everybody and I'm like, listen, what can I do?
Love it. Yes. You don't have to pay exactly what they tell you. A lot of people say, just because it's written on this piece of paper, that's exactly what my APR needs to be.
Right.
You just have to pick up the phone and call, and oftentimes they'll throw you a bone versus losing you as a customer.
So once we negotiate our bills and things, what about our other expenses, like everyday stuff?
So I like to look at a spending plan for your money instead of a budget. Like a regular diet, when you think of a diet, kind of feels like scary.
Yeah.
And so I break down your spending plan into the 3 E's: essentials, endgame, and extras. So 70% of your overall budget goes to your essentials. So that's all the stuff you need to live on every single day. And then 15% to the end game, and then 15% to the extras, so all your fun money.
You know what I love that you say? It's get that latte.
A lot of folks will say to me, Nicole, I did so good. I cut out my morning latte.
Yeah.
So I bought myself a Gucci purse.
Ooh.
And I'm like, hold on. So remember we talked about the financial diet being like a regular diet? If you allow yourself small indulgences, you won't end up binging later on.
Nicole, so much great information. Thanks for stopping by. Well, here's some good news. The Real Housewives franchise is expanding, but its newest show isn't what you'd expect. Jason Matheson, host of The Jason Show on Fox 9 in Minneapolis, joins us with more. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Kristen. Well, uber popular cable network Bravo got in front of advertisers and listed off all of their new shows. There's a ton, but the one that got the most publicity is a new entry in the Real Housewives franchise. No, it's not another city like Shreveport or Chicago. This one's called The Real Housewives of the 1960s. So here's the premise. They're gonna take modern women, normal modern women, and put them in a cul-de-sac where they must live like women in the 60s. And they have to survive there for probably at least 4 to 5 weeks. Personally, Kristen, my idea would be to do an all-stars edition of The Real Housewives. I would love to see Nene and Bethany together. Kristen?
We'll have to see how they survive without their phones. Thanks, Jason.
A Canadian couple is suing the hit HGTV show Love It or List It, claiming their home was left with numerous defects and deficiencies. Norman Wayne and Janine Almeida signed a contract in 2015 with the show, agreeing to put $175,000 into a renovation of their Vancouver home. In court papers filed last week, the couple alleges the production company hired a general contractor with no training or qualification. And upon deciding to stay in their renovated home, the couple says their house now poses a health risk to their well-being, like the growth of molds, high concentrations of carbon dioxide, water ingress, and danger of fire. The production company and producers named in the lawsuit have yet to comment on the case. Welcome back to Top 30. Workers in several states have filed sexual harassment claims against McDonald's. Protesters gathered outside the company's Chicago headquarters this week. The claimants say they were harassed on the job, then ignored, mocked, or fired when they told their managers. The restaurant says it takes the complaint seriously, and what they're trying to do is file a complaint against the individual franchisors. You know, most are 90% are operated as franchises, but also against the parent company, saying it's their joint responsibility.
Right. These accusations included claims that coworkers or supervisors sexually propositioned, groped, or exposed themselves to the women. And these women allege that once they said something, nothing was done. So yeah, this is pretty terrible. The Time's Up Legal Defense Fund are paying for these women's legal fees, which I think is cool.
I wonder if, because it's such a big company, I wonder if this is about just individual managers making bad decisions, as in not listening to the complaints, firing people, rather than it being a systemic problem across the company. You see what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, well, how about this story? American babies got over 29,000 names last year. Now, a new report says 1,100 of them were brand new. The most popular, with 91 kids, was Camry. 11 kids were named after Cersei on Game of Thrones.
Right. Camry is also the name of, it sounds like is named after a car, right? It's a type of Toyota.
Absolutely. People love their Camrys, though. Everyone who has a Camry loves it.
Yeah.
Why not name your kid?
Why not name your kids after a car that you like?
Right.
When we named our kid, it was between Ivy, which we went for, and Ford Fusion. But, you know, we stuck with Ivy.
I'm glad you chose Ivy.
Camry also, but Camry is spelled C-A-M-R-E-I-G-H. So it's, what's interesting, when you look at these names that have been made up, they look like they might be of Irish heritage, like Camry, or, you know, Arabic or Greek, but they're not.
A few other weird ones, in my opinion. Legend, Miracle, Novely. I kind of like Novely, though.
Yeah.
It's from that Natalie Portman movie, I think.
Someone's called Legend or Legend?
Well, there's no D, but it sounds like Legend.
That's even stranger.
Because that's a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you're not quite a legend. Top 30 will be right back.
In today's hometown stories from Fox 9 Minneapolis, the Farmstead Senior Living Center in Andover, Minnesota, has several patients who suffer from memory loss. But Barbara Lee Friedman takes these seniors for a trip down memory lane using the power of music. Barbara Lee plays her guitar, picking songs that will resonate with the seniors, songs that were popular from their childhood or from the year they graduated high school. And some patients who rarely speak find themselves singing along. In our second story from Fox 2 Detroit, the Recharge program is a 4-week class in Southfield, Michigan, and it helps people ages 50 or older retool their careers based on the skills they already have. More than 200 people have taken the class, which involves a lot of soul searching about how the participants want to spend the later part of their careers.
The Recharge program really incites hope into people and for them to realize that they can do other things. And then when they finish the program, they feel good about themselves.
And in our final story from Fox 35 Orlando, Petra is a 4-year-old Congo African gray parrot, and she's very smart. She already knows how to say more than 300 words. In fact, Petra is so smart, she's learned how to control smart devices, like Amazon's Alexa.
Alexa, oh my God. Okay.
Petra can control the lights, she'll ask for the weather forecast, and with a life expectancy of 50 to 70 years, who knows what else she'll learn. Welcome back to Top 30. More rural schools in the Great Plains and Western states are switching to a 4-day school week. Administrators say it helps cut transportation and utility costs, and the 3-day weekend helps to lure in top teachers. Well, now the nation's first large urban school district located in a northeast suburb of Denver is giving the 4-day school week a shot. So, you know, students love this because, you know, the test scores are increasing, they have better attendance. That's what the records show. Teachers love this because they get to relax for 3 days. You know, I think childcare would be an issue. In the rural communities, I see they usually have like a parent or auntie or someone at home to help.
Yeah.
But it would never work in a big city, you know?
You know what this is about? Laziness.
Oh, yeah?
Laziness.
Okay, do expand.
No, of course people don't want to go to school 5 days a week. Of course people don't want to go to work 5 days a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess attendance does go up if you have to attend less, right? Do you know what I mean? Like if I had to go to work 1 day a week, I reckon I'd have a 100% attendance rate.
Of course, yeah, no, that makes sense.
I'd like to see more data on whether or not this really improves test scores.
And maybe we will over time.
Maybe we will.
Okay.
A new study finds 56% of workers check in with the office while they're on vacation. That's up from 41% just 2 years ago. That's obviously partly to do with smartphones, Wi-Fi, and the easy connectivity that we have now. I quite enjoy checking in with work. I mean, I think it depends on who you are. I think this is being presented as a sad turn of events. Sometimes, whilst it's nice to be away with family, to take your mind onto something a bit more complex, like work, can actually be quite a nice way to break up a holiday.
But, I mean, I don't agree.
Don't you?
I am one of those people who unplug completely. Like, you will not find me. I will be off the map when I'm on vacation. There are numerous studies that say unplugging, you know, really giving work a break is good mentally and physically. You know, so I think there are benefits to both, is all I'm saying.
Maybe. Generally, when I'm on holiday and Rebecca says, "Can you bath the kids?" I go, "Oh, I've just got that." Oh, is that the office? Is that the? Oh.
Very important email.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, you're never too old to face your fears. A video of a woman is going viral after she faced her fear of water by going down a water slide at the age of 93. So the question is, what are you scared of that you eventually want to overcome? You know, I love this story because it reminds me of me going skydiving. Like several years ago, I was terrified of skydiving. I would never do it, but I hate being afraid of things. Like I'm never afraid of things. So the fact that I was afraid, I forced myself to go.
Yeah.
And I went, and I loved it.
That's great. I mean, that's a lovely thing, I think, at 93, doing something like that.
Yeah.
It's a very nice, positive story.
So what do you fear?
The only thing I fear, Kristen, is fear itself.
Oh.
That is a statement that I have just made up, that I've just authored.
Okay.
Please don't Google it and check that. Top 30 will be right back.
Welcome back to Top 30. Are you part of the 64% of Americans that drink coffee every single day? Well, unfortunately, it's often our favorite drinks that stain our teeth the most. Which is why we've got today's Top 30 steal. A 2-pack of Pro Noir Charcoal Teeth Whitening Powder at a special 69% discount. You can polish your teeth without using those harmful chemicals. This natural teeth whitener removes stains safely, improves gum health, and freshens your breath. Unlike most other whiteners, this charcoal powder also strengthens your enamel, and it's safe enough to use every day. You just put some water on your toothbrush and then dip it in the powder. Then gently brush your teeth for 1 minute and bam, no more coffee stains. You get 2 jars and each one contains enough powder for nearly 300 uses. The Pro Noir Charcoal Teeth Whitening Powder retails for $80, but today you can buy it for just $25. That's a 69% discount. You can get this right now at morningsave.com while they last. Now for this week's Page 6 Fix with senior reporter Carlos Greer. Carlos, I understand you've got the inside scoop from the royal wedding reception.
Well, Kristen, from Serena Williams playing beer pong to Idris Elba DJing, this was not your average royal wedding. Everyone's talking about the star-studded wedding of Harry and Meghan, but what you didn't see was Oprah's fashion emergency. She had to change her dress last minute because she felt it would have been photographed too white. And back in the States, do we have a new bestie alert? In the most unpredictable of pairings, Oscar winner Julia Roberts snapped a selfie with Amber Rose and actress Rebel Wilson backstage at the Taylor Swift concert in Pasadena. Also, Taylor's real-life BFF Selena Gomez made a surprise appearance during her Reputation tour, joining Swift on stage. And in couples news, it looks like Amber Heard is already moving on from billionaire Elon Musk with a new man. She was spotted locking lips with international art gallerist and Heidi Klum's ex, Vito Schnabel. And that's this week's Page 6 Fix. See you next time.
All right, thanks, Carlos. For more news and gossip, watch Page 6 TV's weekdays. Check your local listings.
8-year-old Mary Alice Trider has an incurable rare genetic condition that requires her to see a specialist once a month at the Boston Children's Hospital, a 30-mile drive from her family's Bridgewater home. Nervous about the nearly hour-long ride before their first visit, her mom, Kelly Trider, took to Facebook to ask if anyone had tips for avoiding traffic and what she could do to make the drive more tolerable. Instead, she received a message from Stephen Hippolito, owner of Silver City Limousine, offering his car service free of charge to and from the hospital. Kelly was hesitant at first because he was a stranger, but finally took him up on the offer, and Hippolito showed up with a blacked-out SUV and gave Mary Alice the full 5-star treatment, complete with sparkling grape juice. Hippolito has now taken them to hospital at least 6 times. And when he's not able to take them himself, he sets them up with one of his drivers.
It's a really great thing he's doing.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Top 30 will be right back. Welcome back. Most people don't usually have tearful, touching moments when talking about the NFL. Unless, of course, you're David Tepper. Paige Failing from Fox 46 Charlotte joins us now to explain why. So, Paige, I hear the Carolina Panthers' new owner got a little teary-eyed while giving a commencement speech?
Yeah, I don't know about you, Kristen, but just being able to afford the $2+ billion price tag for the Panthers, that would be enough to bring me to tears. But for our new team's leader, it was way more than just money that got him emotional. Speaking at his alma mater, Carnegie Mellon, Tepper talked about overcoming the cycles of generational abuse in his family, and then going from a kid who couldn't afford a ticket to a football game to then making the most expensive purchase in NFL history. And as a Carolina Panthers fan, of course, we down here hope that from now on, the only waterworks coming from Tepper are just tears of joy, preferably over his first ever Super Bowl win to really cap off that first year with a bang.
That would be amazing. Thanks, Paige.
All right, that is it for today's Top 30. Here is what's coming up on the next show. The secret to Michael Jackson's gravity-defying dance moves is revealed for the very first time. Plus, airlines are facing a shortage of pilots, and what they're doing to solve it could have an impact on the future of air travel. And there's a reason this baseball player is celebrating and why the video has gotten millions of views. You can also listen to the day's biggest stories by subscribing to the new Top 30 podcast. See you next time here on Top 30.